Today on This Iberian Life, we're taking a deep look at the Extremadura region in Spain. It's a lesser known region, but as my guest, Edyta Niewinska, will tell you, it is definitely on the up and up. So thank you for joining us today, Edyta.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
So one of the many reasons I was so excited to have you on the show is that you bring this unique background to the real estate advice that we provide at This Iberian Life, in that you're a filmmaker and a story writer. So why don't you give everybody your background there and how you weave that art of storytelling into the advice that you give as a real estate agent?
Well, since I came to Spain and I was living in Andalusia before in 2012, I was the only person who was speaking both languages, Spanish and English. So it was very easy. I've been just asked first to have some friends, and then eventually I've been asked if I could collaborate, let's say, on a full time with the real estates that agencies that was selling mainly to the expats. We are speaking to British and Irish market, especially where I was living. So it was, I would say, like, it was obviously an easy job or easy start. And now with like over the decade of experience, I'm just continuing this as my, let's say, parallel to my artistic career.
Do you consider yourself an artist on the real estate agency side?
That's very interesting, actually. But yeah, I can see definitely from the difference between me and my colleagues. And there is two aspects. Like, one is because of my international background and experience. And as an artist, I've been traveling a lot and taking time off to live, for example, last winter, 3 months in Dublin. So not only I speak language, I understand the mentality of people from other countries, of the expats, especially English-speaking market. And then the other way is like, I definitely have a different look. And whenever I see a property, I see a life there or what can happen there. I can straight away imagine a family or investor having a new life, moving there, and my perspective is more about, and then definitely I'm more focused not just on selling the walls and the land, but on offering a new life to my clients.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when I introduce people to a property or I showcase a property to people, I'm seeing more than just the home. I'm seeing the impact that'll have on their life. So you mentioned that when you moved to Spain, you were in Andalusia, and so you were in Vejer de la Frontera, which is right near a beach property that my family owns, and one of our favorite towns in Spain, or the entirety of the world. So tell me what drew you to Vejer, and then ultimately, motivated you to leave that beautiful city and move to Extremadura.
Okay, so I fell in love with Vejer totally when I arrived there for the first time in 2012. It was a small town with local life, and I loved it. And there were already a lot of expats, British expats and artists living there. So it was easy to communicate. It was easy to settle down. But within the time, now we are speaking about 13 years, it has changed. And obviously the tourism took its toll and its price. And eventually it was very difficult to live because of the cost of tourism. We were actually paying the cost of tourism. The local people, the people who are living there, having problems with the water supplies, having problems with finding another place to live. So that was already too much. And because I have a freedom to live wherever I want, I've decided for Caceres, for Extremadura and Caceres, and I'm happy I did that. That was a very good decision.
So essentially you wanted to find a part of Spain where you felt like your presence would be adding to the local community more than subtracting. Is that a fair assessment?
It is a fair assessment, although I can say I was rather looking for quality of life for myself. That was my priority, because I know, like, every community that I move in, I can, and I'm bringing a value as an artist, and I'm bringing my experience as a real estate agent. From the other parts of Europe, and with all my experience and me speaking perfectly the English. But my basic criteria was to find the quality of life, and I have to admit, I had a very long checklist, and Caceres checked everything, checked every box on it. So mainly it was because of good people. I love the people here. They are so open-minded and so friendly. Because of cultural life, which Caceres is offering. And among that, what I love is that we have every weekend there are concerts and festivals at the old town, and it's absolutely magical. And then because the tourism does not really do any impact of your life, because Extremadura learned from other regions, especially Andalusia, and what they are doing is they are slowly, in step by step, building a sustainable tourism, which is a big difference.
Okay, big difference. So paint the picture. I love the idea of concerts every weekend. Where are the concerts held, and where you are in Caceres? Are you typically walking through the town, or are you on the outskirts?
Well, I'm definitely a city girl, and I love to live in, maybe not the old town anymore, because there is too much of a noise and restaurants and music and concerts, but in the center. So I'm walking distance, like 5 minutes to the old town. And all the concerts are actually set in a beautiful medieval old town, which is fantastic, because the contrast of the music that you are having, and there's every kind of music, starting from blues and ending with electronic music, and the old medieval walls. It's absolutely fantastic, and they're doing it really great.
So if you had to draw a box around the type of expat that would be drawn to the Extremadura region, how would you describe them?
I would say this is a very good place for people who are creative, who are looking, who have an idea or a new plan for themselves, and who wants to go off the beaten path.
You mentioned cost of living as it compares to Vejer. How does it stack up to the rest of Spain?
Well, my experience right now is that I definitely, the cost of living, including the cost of every other, additional, like going out and cinema, concerts and drinks, is definitely much cheaper than any other place in Spain I've been living by now, which is also a very nice addition.
Yeah, that's great. And I suspect a lot of people watching this as expats considering moving to Spain are going to be conscious of the cost of living as well. All right, so let's start our property tour. The first property on our tour is a real palace in a town called Zafra, and it's listed at 1 million euros. And I wanted to start here because as you make your way from Vejer into Extremadura, it's about 2/3 the way between where you used to be, Edyta, and now where you are in Caceres. So tell us about this real palace that's listed for 1 million euros.
What is really interesting in Extremadura is that we have really amazing architecture, and many of it is in private hands, which is for sale, which is available to purchase, which is almost impossible in the other parts of Spain. And this is a real authentic palace that is absolutely, when I saw it for the first time, I couldn't believe it, I couldn't believe it. This is on the market and only for 1 million, because this price for such a property you will never ever get in any other part of Spain. And Zafra is a little town, but with a very deep historical background. And I've heard from so many expats living in Spain that this is one of their favorite places. That definitely there is something there that draws the people and attracts the people, and maybe Spaniards don't even see it. So this is definitely a place worth discovering, and this property is absolutely unique and special.
So let's start with that. So how would living in Zafra compare with living in a town like Caceres?
Well, Caceres is a city, definitely. It's not too big. It's 95,000 people living here. So it gives a good, a good vibe. But still, it is a city. It has, although the people living, the Cacereños, they say Caceres is a city with the soul of the village. Mm-hmm. But Zafra is a real village. Mm-hmm. So definitely you have a community closer to you. Local people being more interested, how they can help and cooperate with you. And definitely this feeling of being part of the community, you don't find it in the city. When you move to the town, I remember it was for me like this when I moved to Vejer. You cannot live there on your own. You just straight away forming part of the community, and you are wanted.
Yeah. So so it's a community that is going to be a welcoming community. So you buy this palace, and it seems to me there's a bunch of different uses. You could just live there, right? That's one thing. It looks to me it screams boutique hotel if you want. I'm assuming you could operate a restaurant there. It looks very much like you could use it for a cultural center. What do you think the ideal buyer would want to do with this property?
Well, I would say like the first thing and the good thing about it is like this is still furnished, and it's being sold furnished, and it has its authentic style. So you can already, once you buy it, you can already apply to the authorities for a license for operating as a hotel, and you can start with that without additional investment, which is already good. And the expats and the Spanish people, they love this authentic vibe of the past, or even more than the past century, because as we see on the photos, that's definitely like deeper past. Yeah. But obviously, if you have like more ambitious plans, this can be done as a boutique hotel that will need some good designer, interior designer. So to prepare the design that is actually like combining, the real authentic local style with some modern concepts and ideas. But then the good thing is that it can operate the way it is. And I find it as a really good investment for that price that it's being offered.
Yeah. You could literally move in and have, income right away, and then decide how you want to chart for the future. All right. So our second property is also income generating right off of the bat. But that's really where the similarities end. All right. As opposed to being right in the center of a village, this is going to be in the region of a city. It's in the Badajoz region, and it's a true Spanish finca, and it is listed at 2.5 million euros. But when you see what you get, wow, is that a lot. We're talking 17 hectares, which is about 42 acres. You have 24 in-suite bedrooms. You have a working restaurant. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. So take us into what this property would offer an expat buyer, Edyta.
Well, the nice thing about this property is actually it is existing business. It has all the licenses, all the permissions. There is a hotel and the restaurant. And the restaurant is already famous for fantastic food. The chef working there, it's really great, and it has spread the word about the food there. And I would say like the hotel part has a bigger potential, and it needs good management to bring more of it, because it's fantastic, it's so beautiful as we see, and it's so spectacular and very unique and special and different than any other parts of Spain, that with a good management, and I believe, and what I heard, like this is what is missing now in this place, it can just bloom.
So what I'm hearing is that this is the right property for someone who's looking for a project, right? They're looking for a business. They're looking to make a difference. At 2.5 million euros, this is obviously an investment. Why would somebody want to invest in this finca in this region as opposed to other parts of Spain or Europe?
Well, I would say, like, first of all, this is a great opportunity to make your life there, because the property has the part where the owners were living. And so it gives you privacy. Obviously, it's that big that you can absolutely have a part of it just for yourself and your family and run the business, or have the people that are running the business for you while keeping an eye on it and having your life a fully, perfect life. What is so special is definitely the architecture of this place, but also the location. It's quite remote, but it's in absolutely nature is stunning there. This is something that I've been really drawn to once I came to Extremadura, once I moved in, because the rest of the south of Spain is pretty much like really burned, in the summer. And here you have like green nature, like almost like on the north of Spain all year round, because of abundance of water streams, and the natural pools. So, and this is what offers this place and this region also, like real authentic rural Spanish life, when you are close to the facilities and the big city life, but you still can create the life the way you really want it, and you have a running business that is generating a stable income for you.
That's great. So if somebody's interested in this property, what would be their next steps? Like, how would they learn more?
Well, definitely we invite them to visit. And I think because this is something that it's like, it's so difficult to describe it. And the photos also and the videos does not show the whole beauty of it. There is also a part of the cattle, the breed that only naturally belongs to the south of to Cádiz province, the Retinto, which has the most desired beef in Spain, which is absolutely, I was really shocked when I heard about it. So then the nature, well, you have to come and see it, and we will just walk you through it.
So you're saying they have Retinto cows on this property?
Yes, they do.
That's spectacular. Yeah.
Spectacular.
First of all, my favorite beef in all of Spain. It's right near, we keep talking about Vejer, but that's one of my favorite things about the region is the Retinto cow. So folks, you need to come take a look at this. You'll just go to This Iberian Life, reach out, we'll do a consultation, and we will get you with Edyta to see this property, to learn more. Sounds like definitely an adventure. All right, but it is now time to leave Badajoz and move on to our next region to see property number 3. All right, this last property is on the way from Caceres to Madrid, where I'm doing this recording from. And it is stunning. It's priced at 995,000 euros. It is a 5-hectare estate, so that's 12 acres. And when you see these photos, you're going to know why I was so excited to introduce you to it. Your property starts with this beautiful gate. You're going up this long driveway. Edyta, tell us more about Jarandilla de la Vera, the lifestyle it brings, and then specifically what this property offers.
Well, Jarandilla de la Vera, it's very spectacular because it's a little town, very little town with 3,000 people living there. But it has a very long history and it has still remains from the Roman times, which is fantastic. Plus, then after the Reconquista, the Carlos V, the king, was passing there and staying there before he went to the monastery to live his last days. I think that's been less than a year. So now in the place where he was staying, there is this absolutely stunning and beautiful Hotel Parador, which is like the modern 5 stars place, and the town remains with the history. So that also has the influence on the price. If you find the properties that are around or in other villages, they will be much cheaper, but they will never offer this potential and they will never offer diving deep in the history like Jarandilla de la Vera itself. Plus, it's easily accessible from the main road between Caceres and Madrid, which is also very important because there we are in the mountains. We are in the mountain. It's located in the valley de la Vera, but it's surrounded with the mountains, so it's less. The other villages are much less accessible. And something that is absolutely fantastic is also the temperature is much lower, so the summer heat is not really affecting you that much there. Plus, around Jarandilla de la Vera, you have a lot of fantastic natural pools, and that is something like I haven't seen in that abundance anywhere else in Spain.
Yeah. And so when you look at this 12-acre piece of property, you get the feeling like it's totally out in the country, yet you're very adjacent, it seems like, to the town of Jarandilla de la Vera. Would somebody living in this property go into town much? Could they walk there? Would they take their car down? Paint that picture for me.
Well, I would say, if you want to do the shopping, you take your car. You won't be carrying it, on your bike. Definitely not. This is a lifestyle that I had also in province of Cádiz, and this is here in the small places. You basically need a car to move around, to spend your time, to go to the pool because you want to carry with you the umbrella, the other stuff, clothes for change and so on. But you always have some chiringuito, a very incredibly cheap food that is so crazy that I still can't believe it. And obviously the car is going to make your life much easier. And then whether you go to the city a lot, I would say you rather go to the pool and just, get yourself a real spa, natural, authentic spa experience. That would be my choice, definitely.
I totally get the appeal. This sounds incredible. So 12 acres is a large amount of land, 5 hectares in Spain. What could the buyer do with this land in this location?
I would say, considering the location and all this abundance of nature, you know what I would do? I would do a glamping. I would just do a fantastic, really great glamping. This is something that is very trendy right now in Spain. It's not too many, so there is still very good market for it. I've heard only about one in Extremadura, and this is more like the tipi tents than a real glamping thing. So I would totally go for a glamping, and with the good marketing that you Americans are specialists in, that can be a really blooming business.
I love the idea. And you're only, by map, I think you're 2.5 hours from Madrid?
Yes, that's correct. It's
Yeah.
about like 1 hour, 120 from Caceres and about 2.5 hours from Madrid. So,
Yeah.
and there is Avila on the way. That is like, this is the best, the most beautiful, castle with the walls in the well-preserved walls in the whole Europe. So this gives a lot of touristic, but like sustainable tourism opportunities.
I love it. That's great. Why I created This Iberian Life is that when I bought a home in Spain, as someone who'd been in real estate in the United States for 25, 28 years at the time, I was just struck by how different the process was, right? And different can feel very scary. So I created this to walk North Americans, English-speaking North Americans, through the process, right? You can call me the Spanish real estate whisperer, right? But I get the American process and I get the overview of the Spanish process. But what I bring is I connect you with local experts like Edyta. So how the process works is you come in, we do a consultation, I learn, gain an understanding for what you want to accomplish by buying home in Spain or Portugal. We serve both those regions. Then once we have an understanding where you want to be, I connect you with the right professionals. So, and it's not only real estate agents, right? I connect you with lenders, with attorneys. I feel strongly as a extranjero buying in Spain, you should be working with an attorney as well as a real estate agent. And then I get you with great agents. And then I am here as your consultant, as your coach. So when something seems a little off, you run that by me and I either get you back on track or just confirm that, yeah, that's how it operates. So, but bringing it back to Edyta, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And everybody, if you like this episode and you want to see more, definitely subscribe so that you'll be notified when we produce more. If you want to really hook us up, like the episode so the algorithm understands how much you enjoyed it. And then finally, leave a comment. Let me know where you would like me to take you in Spain or Portugal next, because I produce these videos every single week. All right, thank you so much, Edyta, and thank you so much for everybody joining us at home. Thanks.